Hi, guys, and welcome back to another episode of Ultras 11. Before we start to introduce our guest of honor today, make sure to take a moment, subscribe to us on YouTube, follow us on all social media platforms. Of course, make sure to like us on whatever streaming service you use. And yeah, I'm Joe,
I'm Al.
and we're joined today with Jake Gyllenhaal's doppelganger.
Hello,
Sano.
everyone. Hello, everyone. Thank you, Joe.
No problem. Ladies, he's single.
Thank
you. Jumping right into it before we start to get distracted with everything and whatever. This season just feels like it's a little bit off. The whole year we've heard about coaches being sacked. Coaches don't know where their next destination is. Players being arrested. A bunch of stuff. So today, what we're going to talk about actually is the coaching merry-go-round that we are going to probably experience this summer.
Like you're already seeing it now start happening.
Yeah, the worst part is we still have coaches and their top-level coaches for any team that are unemployed, like Zidane, Conte, Joachim Löw, all these guys, and you don't even know where they're going to end up. So I just want to touch upon Klopp because he kind of is the reason why we're going to talk about coaches. He inspired said episode a little bit. We've all read his words about him running out of energy. Although, yes,
I've seen a meme everywhere.
It is very funny. It's a meme now and stuff like that.
Internet always wins.
Social media always wins. But it's probably actually the most important thing that he says. Obviously, besides the fact that he says he's resigning, he says he's running out of energy. So my question to you guys is, what do you think he means by that? By he's running out of energy?
I mean, Joe, it's as a coach at that level, when you're coaching a team like that for that many years, you don't see it often, especially for us that we watch the Italian league, that a coach lasts more than 3 years. You're like, holy shit, man, this guy might actually be pretty good, because coaches don't last that long. So, and you don't see it that often, nowadays. So him being there that long and Liverpool being as dominant and keeping up with Man City, who is just on another level, it's a tough job. And for him, I can just imagine just the stress he's been through the last 7 years. And it comes to a point where you're just like, you know what, I have to step back, take a break, because, the best time you had with that team, it's come, it's you see it starting to come to an end. And, to do a whole nother rebuild and start, from ground zero, it's a tough job. And I think he kind of sees that coming. And that's what he means. Just he's tired to, do that all over again.
Yeah. So, did you think he was maybe potentially hinting at a retirement or taking some sort of easier job, like a national team coach role?
No, I didn't think he's going to retire. I think he's going to take a step back. Like Al said, he's been there, 8-9 years?
Yeah.
That's a long time for a coach at one spot. Like Al says, SERIE A, you see a coach last 3 years, that's amazing. That's Hall of Fame worthy, send his number to the rafters kind of thing. It doesn't happen. Look at Mourinho, didn't last long in Roma. For him to be that guy, that coach for a Liverpool team in the Prem, it's a lot of pressure, a lot of stress. And I think it's the best thing for him is to step back, maybe take a year or two off, like a Spalletti. Spalletti took a year or two off, just take a breather. And I don't think he's going to retire. I think he's going to weigh out his options and see. I personally think he's going to maybe not top club, but a club that he can really put his hands on, not just only coach, maybe just be a part of who he gets, brings in, scouting,
run the whole operation.
He wants to be the guy. He wants to be running everything. I think Klopp is that kind of guy. I don't think he wants to be just, I'm the coach. Oh, these are my players for this year. Okay, awesome. I'll do what I can. I think he's no, he wants to go to a place, start a project and work with it for a few years. That's the kind of mentality he has. And I don't see maybe the top clubs in the world, especially in the Prem. Like he said, he's not going to do. I believe he's not going to go to another Prem team.
Yeah.
So
top one, I can't see it.
Any other club around the world, I don't think national. I think that national, there's too many politics involved. There's bigger headache if you think about it. It's a bigger headache than club football.
It's a lot more cutthroat too.
Yeah.
It's either qualify or don't.
Yeah, it's a lot of politics, and you have to jump through hoops to appease certain managers or guys that are running the organization, right? I think he just goes to maybe not like a Liverpool kind of club, maybe a tier underneath,
Mhm.
and he gets more involved and gets to control who he brings in.
Yeah.
So
Do you think there's any team that kind of stands out? Because you said no top team, and already like Barcelona is going to be looking for a coach. Chelsea. Well, Chelsea we already kind of could write off because he's not going to go back to another
No.
Prem team.
At least not for a while.
But do you
And-
think
and
Barcelona could be
no,
a spot
no
for
offense
him?
to Chelsea, like that's a lot of pressure as well.
Mm.
And they've been like a revolving door with players and coaches.
Yeah.
I don't think
You don't wanna
Klopp
be a
wants
part
to
of
be
that.
part of that, especially if he's saying that he doesn't have the energy. So that's not a good fit for him. Barcelona's not a good fit for him. Xavi is running out the door. He's done.
Yeah.
He's done. I really think a club. I'm not saying this particular club I'm thinking of, but a club like a Sevilla,
Yeah.
where like it's not the most pressure, but they have pieces that he can build with and
Yeah.
maybe push them to the next level.
Yeah.
I don't think he takes over like a Real Madrid or a Barcelona. Atletico would be ideal, but they have Diego.
Yes,
Yeah,
Diego.
they're gonna
Diego
ride.
Simeone's
through
not going
everything.
anywhere.
He's
for
not
a
going
long time.
in, but like Atletico Madrid and maybe in the other leagues around the world, if you can find a team like Atletico Madrid, I see that.
Mhm.
That's a situation I
Yeah.
can see him go in. Other than that, I don't see him going to like Barcelona.
Yeah.
I'm a little bit different on it. Like I agree in the sense where I can't see him going to like a Barca or like a Real, but I could see him like going to, coming to Italy and taking over whoever really kind of at that moment is looking and fits in best, but like an Inter, a Milan, a Juve, even like even a Roma, I think would be a good enough project if they have they start laying somewhat of a foundation. They could potentially too. Napoli, I would say them, but their president is too.
Yeah,
fucked
that I
up
was
and
gonna say that
stupid.
would be a recipe that would not work.
That would
at
not
all.
work at all. Like
No,
even
no.
Lazio too. So that's why like those teams there,
Fuck Lazio.
I really think that like I can see him going there. After a couple of years, taking some time off, he's gonna just kind of chill out at home, just watch soccer and enjoy it, and not have to worry about it and making tactics and all that stuff. He can just enjoy it for what it is. Take some years off, to think, to just kind of collect himself, and then I can see him coming back to like a dude. Let's say Inzaghi in a couple of years, things start going south. He starts to leave. Inter starts looking. Man, he could be, dude. You bring him in, he's not a guy that's just gonna want to, be there a couple of years and he's gonna leave like Conte.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a long.
Like that's a
guy.
long-term guy. Like Inter
Yeah.
could, especially after this little time now where like, hey, they're winning. They have their experienced guys, but once like Mkhitaryan, those
Yeah.
guys, those guys start dropping out. Like even Darmian, for as much as like,
Yeah.
dude, he's been phenomenal for you guys.
Yes.
And like you don't realize it now and how big of an impact they have. But once those guys leave and they're not a part of that team, you'll still have the core, but it's going to be, a lot of figuring out and a lot of people coming in and, this guy might not work. So, you bring someone else. And I think Klopp can kind of take that over and, build something. For everybody, I hate to say it, like I can see him building something like great with Inter or even like Milan too.
I could definitely see him doing well with the big three in Italy. Like Juventus has all the youth in the world right now. I can see like Allegri's doing what he does best. Like he's getting the results, he's winning. But lately, Juve's been pumping teams, so they're fun to watch team. But I can see a Klopp coming into Juve and using all those youth pieces that he gets, get a couple guys he wants, bring them in, and just work with a team like Juve. Or even Milan. They have a lot of pieces too, like guys that they're very top. Pulisic is a great player. He's fantastic to watch. Leao, I think Leao would benefit really with a Klopp in the dressing room versus Pioli. I can't stand that
Pioli,
guy.
man, he's on fire.
I can't stand that guy. But like a Klopp coming in, you would see a lot more coming in, out of Leao. I think out of the clubs around the world, the top three in Italy, I wouldn't say Roma. Sorry, Joe.
No,
Like,
I agree. We already have the best coach in the world.
No,
The
dude,
guy who would,
Mourinho got sacked. What are you talking about?
the guy who would even if he wasn't a soccer player would just be part of the Cuba.
Yeah.
Just hang out.
And eat a panino with the fans. That goat baby.
That guy signed that contract without even looking.
He signed for $20 and a pack of cigarettes.
He's like, yeah.
I wouldn't doubt it. Honestly, the financial state that you guys are in.
But no, I don't see Roma because there's so much uncertainty with Roma.
Yeah.
And I just don't think, with Roma, there's they're all over the place right now.
Yeah.
And Napoli, like you said, that president, owner, he's a moron.
That man will be the demise of Napoli.
Yeah.
He is.
And then I can't think of anyone else in Serie A specifically, but like the top 3 for sure. For sure, he could do wonders. And again, any other club that's like an Inter, a Juve, a Milan, a Atletico, like you said, and that's it. Like, there's no Prem team. He's not going to the Prem.
Yeah, which it would be nice to see him kind of stay in the Prem, because there are some teams I think that could definitely use him
for sure.
In saying that,
Aston Villa.
We'll stop talking about Klopp for a little bit. Klopp
for a little bit.
We'll stop talking about Klopp for a little bit. Let's talk about 2 coaches that are unemployed and shouldn't be unemployed because they are probably.
Don't say Jose Mourinho, man. We talked about him for 2 weeks now.
Jose, no, I'm kidding. We're gonna talk about Conte, Antonio Conte, and Zinedine Zidane. They've taken quite some time off. We had Zidane, who was linked with returning to Juve, returning to Madrid, taking over at United, taking over at France. But all of that kind of died out last year. Mm-hmm. Since then, we haven't even heard about Zidane being linked with anyone.
To be fair, until you mentioned him, totally forgot.
You know what I mean? Like, that's the thing. Like, he genuinely, like, it's not that he fell off, because I'd still say he's a good coach,
Great
whatever
coach.
You saw what he did. But he genuinely hasn't just been linked with anything.
Yeah.
Then you have Conte on the flip side, that every other week he's being linked with a new job. He was linked with Juve to return. He's linked with Milan right now, and according to some sources, he's already there.
He's visiting Inter.
Yeah,
he misses.
He wants to see if Limon is doing well. And like, talking about both of them though, now, is there a place that you could see, or you would like to see, both of those coaches end up? So, like, with Conte to Milan, do you actually see that being a possibility, given his history?
I really hope not.
Juve?
I really hope not, but I do see it.
That's feeling what I felt when Conte was linked with
Yeah,
Inter, and it was becoming real, and I was like, oh my god, please don't have
rewind a few years ago. He was doing the same thing.
Don't.
He's like, yeah, now how you feel? How you doing?
Now you see, because you can't hate him because, like, he did a lot for your club, but you're
so
like,
much.
Man, fuck off. Like,
you know what's on the horizon now.
You do, like, and that's the thing. Like, it's a great move for them, because Pioli, I said it even when the season they won, I'm like, he's not it. They got to move on from him. It's a great move for them, and for him, like, it's his arrogance, because they can be like, hey, I coached the top 3 teams in Italy and I won all 3 of them. They were nothing before, and now I look what I did with them. So like that's a reason that he's gonna be like,
extra motivation.
I can gloat about that after, no problem. I'll definitely win with Milan. So for that move there, I see it. Like, with Juve, I still don't think their time's done with Allegri, so I can't see that becoming a move. I know he would love to come back. He would probably be like Dudossi and sign a contract without looking, but then demand for money later on. Like, no, I was just joking about that. Yeah, you guys gotta say
no.
He's not like
gonna demand
he'll play it off like, no, please come on, take me back. I won't look at the contract, and then I was like, no. But I was just joking.
Put an extra 0 there.
I was just joking. Come on, Elkin, just add a couple zeros. Help a brother out.
What about Zidane? Because Conte probably gonna go with Milan.
That's the only really.
I would love Zidane to return to Juve.
I know that
like, it's a perfect fit. Even again, this is an Inter fan, and I'm supposed to hate Juve, Milan.
You guys are being very polite to each other right now.
Right now, I'm being nice, but like, realistically, it makes sense for Zidane to go back to Juve.
I mean, hey, I would fucking love that. But
he coached Real Madrid, did his thing there. Now it's time to go to Juve and see what he can do in Serie A. Go back to
maybe win a Champions League and bring it back to you.
Why not? It would be nice. It would definitely be nice.
For me, I think Zidane's gonna wait it out. Now, Ancelotti signed another year at Madrid. Yeah. I think he's gonna wait it out until he leaves, and he's gonna try to go back over there. That's what I think.
See, that's what I was.
There's been times that Juve was linked in the past, but I feel like he's waiting out, man. I either that, or like, he just wants way too much money that anybody can afford, and he's just waiting out till somebody comes in and offers him that money.
Watch out of nowhere, Saudi Arabia.
Now, see, a guy like Zidane, the thing is, like, I feel like he has the luxury that he's able to take the time off. Because when he did work, you saw what he did. He won a treble of fucking Champions League. Yeah, he's that guy. He has that resume. So, like,
he's proven.
He's not going to come cheap, and not a lot of teams will be able to afford that. No. I could maybe see him,
and also
Roma.
Not a lot of teams too, like top teams, are going to want to risk it with him because
of the time off, right?
No, not even that. They can make the argument like, okay, he did well with Madrid, but like, that team, he took it over from Ancelotti of what he built. That they already had. Look at the superstars they had. They had 2 Ballon d'Or winners in the starting lineup, 3 Ballon d'Or winners, 3 Ballon d'Or winners in the starting lineup. Like, the team that was Madrid's best team ever, I think. And like, every position was filled with a superstar. So like, not taking away anything from him. He is a great coach. You did see what he was able to accomplish. But I feel like teams will also look at that and be like, he's taking a lot of time off. With Madrid, like he hasn't really been tested.
Yeah.
That you can say like, yeah, this guy, he's a good coach. Like look what he built with this team here. Look what this team here was a 4th place team, and now he took them. They won 3 years in a row. So I feel like a lot of teams too are like that could play a factor into why they're not fully pursuing him.
Yeah. I think for me, like I would love to see Zidane. I know this is a little bit more far-fetched, but I would love to see him in the Prem because like they obviously first off have the financial means to give him what he wants and pay him respectfully.
Yeah, that's true.
I could see him kind of maybe trying to take over like an Arsenal because Arteta is rumored to leave. But the only reason why I say that is because of kind of like the French connection there at Arsenal. Arsene Wenger was there for what, 20 years, 25 years.
Yeah.
Built a legacy, built a dynasty and a half. Thierry Henry, Patrick, you know what I mean? Like I could see like there are French roots almost in Arsenal's legacy. So I could see maybe Zidane coming in, final piece of the puzzle, gives what Arteta couldn't do, wins the Premier League or something like that with them. I could see Chelsea taking him or like throwing the wall at him type of thing and saying, hey, here's a blank check, write whatever you want.
Yeah, like you can't offer him, make an offer you can't refuse.
Exactly. Right? I could see Chelsea doing that because they think that's what they need. It's not players or whatever. It's a proper coach. But I don't know.
I think you're completely wrong. It's either what Al said, he's waiting to go back to Real Madrid, which makes the most sense, or I can see him going to Juve. It's one of the two. I don't see him going to the Prem.
I don't see him going to Juve. I couldn't tell you why. I feel like it's just one of those love stories that it ended when he left Juve. You know what I mean? Like it's one of those things.
He's expressed like his love and like he said he would love to coach them one day. But I feel like it will happen. I just don't know. I don't think it's gonna happen
anytime soon.
Yeah, like I feel like he'll want to get something under his belt before then. I honestly like there's even the thought of him coaching the national team because he did say he would do that. I don't know when.
I think
in
if
his
he's
career,
gonna coach, he's gonna want to coach
like
a team full force and not just with the national team. It's not the same.
It's not.
All right, so switching over to coaches here. No, I'm not going to talk about that. I know I have Jose Mourinho written down on the script just because older generation coach. Do you think we'll see him coach again? But we won't talk about that. Let's talk about current coaches that are employed right now.
Okay.
And the rumors surrounding them and where they're going to go and stuff like that. So like the rumor of Thiago Motta. You know how he's literally linked with almost every single club in the world because of his style and this and that. Desire to be linked with taking over Pep Guardiola if these breaches are all confirmed and stuff like that. And then where would that leave Pep Guardiola? Stuff like that. So let's talk about Thiago Motta first. Do you see him going to a top team like a Barcelona, or do you think there's a team in between that he goes to?
I think he goes to Barcelona.
Right off the get-go, he's not going to try to coach that step in between.
I can see him, man.
I can see
it.
I think
his style.
I close my eyes. Think Barcelona. I see Thiago Motta there. I really do.
He has the connection with them. He like his style of play and you see it in so many. Everyone hypes up these like Di Francesco, but everyone hyped up him with Sassuolo. He went to Roma, and it was like, dude, what did you do? Where did this all go? Where did it all go? What went wrong? And I watch him play, and you see how well he's doing with Bologna. I don't think it's just some fluke thing, and I don't think it's just like a system or just a team. I genuinely think his tactics, he's in the future, he's going to be a very good coach.
Yeah.
He's still young. He's still got a lot to prove. He's still got to, take a chance with a big team. And I mean, if Barcelona is it's a good chance for him. I feel like he's more well equipped and experienced than Xavi was taking over. So, I mean, I could see it happening, man.
I definitely could see it happening. I hope it happens. I think it's a perfect fit for him.
But do you think it's a perfect fit for Barcelona? Do you see Barcelona taking that gamble on?
I don't think they're going to do it.
I'm not saying he's a bad coach in any way. I think the way he thinks about the game is crazy. It's
not a for sure thing.
But that's the thing. Do you see Barcelona really they took a risk with Xavi? They got him returning legend, this and that. He played brilliant football in Saudi Arabia. Now, do you see them actually taking another risk on a somewhat young coach?
Okay, Saudi Arabia, Serie A.
No, I know. But I'm just saying,
Saudi Arabia. No, let's gamble. Saudi Arabia. Serie A. Let's put it Serie A is way above Saudi Arabia.
I agree.
Saudi Arabia is not nowhere close, and a lot of players want to leave.
Yeah,
Yes.
because they're not even getting paid half of them. Jordan Henderson didn't get one check, and he was there for half a year.
Enough said. Okay, they got okay.
It's a joke.
It's a joke. I understand. I respect Xavi, what he's done in his career, but as a coach, you're not coaching anywhere in the top 5 leagues, then you shouldn't be coaching Barcelona. I'm sorry.
No, I agree with that.
Serie A, what he's doing with Bologna. Bologna, I love. Even though they beat Inter in the Coppa Italia, I was watching them. I'm like, holy smokes, this team is amazing to watch.
Very fluently.
They put 2 guys out there, bing, boom, 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 boom. They turned a Cherby inside out. I was like, holy, Haaland couldn't even do that. Haaland didn't even do that in the final. Actually. And these kids did it. And Thiago Motta is making them play a beautiful style of football.
Yeah.
And I think that if he goes to Barcelona with way more talent on that team in Barcelona has the talent. They do have the foundation there. And for some reason, money, I don't know how, but they have the money and they'll spend it.
Somehow they
No money, but they got
they
money
so
to spend.
always overcome some sort of financial leave or Spotify. Give us another $2 billion, eh?
Don't tell anyone. Here's another $15 billion. Don't tell anyone. Don't ask anyone. Anyway,
Rename
they
the
have
stadium.
the money. They have the foundation. What he's doing with Bologna, who, no offense, doesn't have the money.
Yeah, they don't have the financial means in
they
any
don't,
way,
no.
shape, or form.
They do have some awesome players. Now you go that and bring Mota to Barcelona with the foundation of youth and young players and talented players with a financial backbone. I think he'd be a perfect fit for both club and Thiago.
I'm just if I'm Barca, again, I'm just hesitant because he's such a young coach. You know, like when you're a coach, like a Barcelona, like I always look at
you have to look at the age. Don't look at the
I'm
age.
saying like young in regards to like how long
But
he's
Joe,
been coaching for. That's
you
my
also
thing.
Joe. You also have to look too. Okay, you look at some of these experienced coaches, and when they made their big move and their first big test, they were young.
They were young.
You have to.
I agree.
It's all about the right timing, which you're not going to know until after the fact if it was the right timing. And it's all about taking a risk, man. Like this could be Thiago Motta's big that he solidifies himself as an actual top coach.
Manager, yeah.
Like he goes there and actually does something with this Barca team and turns them into what Xavi was trying but couldn't accomplish.
Yeah.
Dude, he can really make a name for himself, and that's all it takes, man.
Honestly, working on what Al said, like every coach is a gamble. There's no guaranteed. Like you get Ancelotti, he went to
Everton,
Napoli,
Napoli.
even Napoli,
and he looked god awful. Like, oh my goodness, Ancelotti's washed up. Goes to Real Madrid. Never mind, I take back everything I said. It's about timing. It's about having the right players at the right time, and people buy into your system.
And
right?
sometimes people coaches are just the right fit for certain clubs, right? Like
absolutely.
it comes down to almost like a personality thing,
and
you know, like
the culture, right? The history of the culture.
Like perfect example, Simeone and Atletico Madrid.
Yeah.
Dude,
Yeah.
You can't picture another coach
perfectly.
being there. Yeah.
They're perfect right now.
Peanut butter and jelly, man. Like they're literally perfect.
I mean, can't have that. But
Yeah,
anyway.
Not for Sano.
That's poor
Not
thing.
for Sano.
As for De Zerbi, today they actually just got railed 4-0 against Luton Town.
Getting a little exposed.
So obviously,
honestly.
do you think okay, we've talked about this before about him being the successor to Pep Guardiola and stuff like that, and there are rumors that Pep could be leaving at the end of the year. Who do you think would be the first choice for City? Do you think it actually is De Zerbi?
I generally don't think it's De Zerbi. Like I think they're obviously looking at him and seeing what he does this year and what he's doing with this team. I just don't think he's there yet, and especially if they're obviously at that point. Like if he leaves if Pep walks away at the end of the season, they need to bring someone that's experienced, ready to win because they already have the team ready to win. It's like all they need is a manager just to get them going. So I genuinely I don't know who would be because it's going to be a big name. It's not going to just be some De Zerbi that people that a lot of people don't really know, and this guy's going to come in and be like, hey, hopefully it works out. I don't think that's it. I think it's going to be like someone bigger than him.
No, I don't see him. No, I don't. Man City, no way. Like,
see, okay, we all agree on that.
Yeah, he needs time. He needs time.
He needs time. He needs maybe go to another prem. He's just like a level below. Like there's Man City, top club. He's a level below the top clubs. To be honest with you, and he's a great coach. I think he could definitely manage the top clubs in the prem. Man City is a different level. It's a different level. It's
Yeah.
a different animal. It's a different beast. And I don't see him replacing Pep.
Yes.
And I love De Zerbi. I think he's a good coach, but he's getting a little exposed lately.
Yeah. And that's what I mean. Like when the pressure's actually on to be winning
It's
stuff,
not
and not just
different
like
when
competing.
you have small club, don't have expectations, doing well,
Mhm.
versus, oh, we brought you in to win, and it's
Mhm.
like, oh, like the pressure's on.
Yeah.
Like I lost one game, which leads to another loss. And it
Mhm.
piles on.
Yeah.
So
You gotta win the league. Yeah, no, I'm gonna try, but we're gonna hope for top four. No,
No, you
you're
gotta win the league.
You're gonna win the league.
You're
Yeah.
coming off
We're
a treble
speaking
winning
English here.
year.
You're gonna win the
the
league.
Yeah.
It's a totally different pressure that like you can't experience unless like you're at it firsthand.
I hope he does well, and I really hope he's successful in the Prem. But your question, Man City, no way. No.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
Generally don't
speaking
think so.
of winning the league, it's time to switch topics over here because we kind of
my legend.
we kind of overcooked that one. I don't know who's on his back. Is it Lukaku?
Lautaro.
Oh, okay, that's fine actually. So Juve and Inter come up against each other this weekend, and
What a banger.
we have Sano here to talk about the Derby d'Italia.
Ooh.
Essentially,
Perfect time.
this is
Bring
going to
him
be
in.
a battle for first and second. Yes, Juve has 2 games in hand, and they kind of screwed up this weekend against Empoli. I'm sorry. Kind
We
of
did.
dropped points, kind of dropped the ball a little bit. So before we get started and you guys start attacking each other about the next question I'm going to ask you guys,
by the way.
I'll be asking you some questions, and I know you guys will probably get at it. But anyways, let's start off with something more simple. Put aside your respect for each other and your little thing you guys got going on here, being polite. Let's start off with a bit of a
think alike, man.
let's start off with a bit of a match preview.
Okay.
What do you guys expect out of the game?
You go first.
I'll go first.
You're the
I'm
guest.
the guest.
You're the guest.
The first game, it was too no one wanted to make that first move. It was very okay,
Calculative
He's like,
almost.
okay, hesitant. Everyone was over calculating their moves, their passes, and it opened up when Juve took advantage of the slip up that Inter did. We got opened up, we started opening up. Juve took advantage, scored. Then Inter's like, okay, we gotta get our shit together, and they got that equalizer. I think that Inter needs to come out guns blazing. If they're serious about winning this year, they gotta come at Juve in front of the San Siro. Sorry, Giuseppe Meazza, because when Inter's home, it's not the San Siro.
It's Giuseppe
And they're not gonna
Meazza.
be in the San Siro for a long time. Milan fans. Anyway, Inter needs to come out guns blazing. I mean, they have to come at Juve, go at them. This team is young and youthful, so they can match that energy.
Yeah,
But
they'll have
if
that
you
energy.
punch them in the face early, they might, because they're young, they might fold a little bit. And I think Inter needs to show their dominance. If they keep Juve around in the game, that's going to cause problems.
Yeah.
And I've been critical of Inzaghi in the past, but in big matches and big games and cup games, he does tend to show up. So I think he's going to get the boys fired up. I'm fired up just talking right now, thinking about it. We got Barella back. We got Hakan back. Mkhitaryan's been playing great, even though I want Frattesi to start, but he's been playing so well. You cannot. I think Inter needs to come out there and just punch Juve in the mouth right away. No, but
Physically and metaphorically.
if it comes out to physical, yes, yes, you have to. You have to set the tone. Go on.
Al,
Oh,
what do you
that's it?
think?
Okay, I mean, for kind of starting off with the first game like Sano did, I do agree 100%. Both teams, you saw it, they were both scared to make, like that first move. They were both scared to fuck up. Juve put that little bit of pressure on them. Inter fucked up. Juve capitalized. Juve right away again, okay, let's sit back and kind of, hold off and hope for the best. Inter, with just the firepower they are, you knew they were going to equalize. You saw it coming. That happened. They equalized the game. And then right after that, both teams were just playing so conservative because they didn't want to slip up. They were both so scared. That was a game. Honestly, you saw the little bit of inexperience in both teams because no one wanted to say, you know what, fuck that, I'm going for his fucking neck.
Yeah.
Fuck that, I'm going for their balls. Like they were just scared and they were like, no, let's, hey, we'll get a draw against Inter. Inter was like, you know what, we'll take it, whatever, we're okay with it, and then we'll win the next game. Hopefully,
a draw does kind of benefit Inter in this scenario. If it were to happen,
because of that right now. But I think for this weekend, I think the game is going to go like this. Early on, Inter's gonna score first. Martinez, he's gonna score a cracker. Everyone's gonna go nuts. They're all gonna look cheese. They're gonna be all pissed off. That's what's gonna fire. It's gonna set the fire underneath their asses. Right before half or at the start of the second half, we'll equalize it. No, 85th minute. Sorry, no, I thought your fucking vibrator was going off, man. You scared the shit out of me.
My phone was going off. Take it easy.
And then I think this might just be the passion in my heart, but I think 80th to 88th minute, Juve scores a winner. Corner kick comes in.
I already know who you're going to say.
Big Dick Bremer
or
Gatti. I was going to say Gatti. But I just because like the whole thing that Bremer with like that last year he was going to go to Inter and they came to Juve. I think he's going to be the one scores the winner. Scores the winner in the 80th minute. I think we'll end up taking the game. But again, like the one thing I don't like about this is that, dude, everybody and I see on Twitter and the commentators talk about they're literally talking about this game like it's the title decider. No. I get it. Top two teams, it could be. It could have an effect. Depending if we finish by like 2 points behind Inter, it could make the difference. But at the end of the day, there's still another fucking 15 games left to play.
Yeah, there's still plenty of football.
If it was like, a couple games left, I get it. There's still if Inter could pump us, lose 3 stupid games, we win. We just go on a hot streak, and then we're first place.
Yeah,
we've seen it happen in the past.
I agree with you. Like and I see a lot of Inter fans. We win this, we win the league. It's like, guys, settle down,
relax.
We could win this game, and God forbid an injury happens to one of our top players,
or you guys just
start falling apart, or just we have Champions League. Juve doesn't. Remember that. It's a critical thing that not many people are remembering. Juve doesn't need to play those extra games. Inter has Atletico. Like that's a lot of pressure on all these players, a lot of games, right? So yes, it's a huge win if Inter wins or if Juve wins. It's an absolute morale boost. It's a long season.
No.
So I hate reading on Twitter these Inter fans. Oh, if we win, and like they fire me up, Inter fans.
Yeah,
like,
dude,
I love it.
It fires me up too. But I mean, like guys, like logically,
relax.
Like, this is not
down.
The season.
It's not the season. It's a long season. But Al said something I forgot. I was going to add to it. Oh, shoot.
Bremer?
Oh, he talked about Bremer. I think it's going to be, I'll tell you what I think is going to happen. I think it's either going to be, again, I hope it's a back and forth game. It's either going to be a 1-1 game like last time. Everyone's afraid to, like you said, they're afraid to go for it. Mm-hmm. Or they don't want to be the reason they win or lose.
Or lose, yeah.
Because if you want to be the reason to win, there's a chance you might mess up.
Yeah,
and
you
be
can
the
screw
reason
it all
to
up.
lose.
Yeah.
That's what I was trying to get at.
And that's the thing. I could see both teams kind of pulling the same thing as the first game, just because again the timing of this game. Like Juve knows, okay, if we get a draw, it's not the best thing, but it's not the worst. Like it's against Inter, we're fighting with them. It's a decent result, and Inter can be like, hey, you know what? We have the games in hand. As long as we win them, we're right now we're in first. We win those, we're still good. We're happy with the draw. So I can see that. I hope not. I hope both of them are like, fuck them. We're getting this fucking win. Like I want to see blood that game.
I hope Inter has the mindset like we have the game in hand. Let's go fucking kill these guys. Let's go for it. Swing for the fences. Because the worst thing that happens, we lose.
Still have those 2 games.
We still have a game in hand to come back.
Yeah.
So why not us? Let's go.
Mm-hmm.
This is it, Inter.
Yeah.
This is what we've been working for. That second star we wanted. Show me this game that you wanted. With that being said, my prediction, I have 2 predictions. It's either going to be a 1-1 game or a 3-1 Inter.
Jesus.
It's a big jump.
I think it's going to be
dramatic.
Like what we said. It's either going to be that conservative game. No one's going to want to make a mistake. It's going to be boring. It's going to be simple. So it's going to be 1-1. Or in my heart, I think when Inter's on their best game, 3-1. 3-1.
Okay. Now.
I'm saying 6-1 Juve now. Vlahovic hat trick.
So I was gonna say a comment, but I'm gonna leave the bantering to you guys because I'm on the outside here.
You can make a comment.
We'll
just both attack you at Rome.
Yeah, exactly. So that's why I'm not going to do it because I don't want to deal with that stuff because I have no comeback, quite literally. So we talked about this roughly, I want to say 2 weeks ago, Al? We were talking about VAR. We were talking about how Inter gets some sort of favorable calls per se.
What's the league called?
So I was actually looking into it, and I don't know why. It's like my TikTok heard us. all over my TikTok, I see something called #Marotta League.
Oh, that's
So
what the big
apparently
stuff.
this isn't a real thing, that Inter, there's some collusion going on.
It's a real conspiracy, man. It's like Pizzagate.
There's the deflate gate happening all over again. So apparently there is a thing that everybody's saying Inter is known for fixing games as well now, and it's this whole thing, and they're getting favorable calls and blah blah blah.
Oh yeah, favor.
They aren't really doing themselves any favors, considering last over the weekend Martinez pushes the guy from behind and heads in a tap in. So there are little things I will say here and there. Wait,
Yeah.
you get your part
I
soon.
get mine.
But on the flip side of things, Juve is also known for fixing stuff. They clearly
What?
It's clearly,
No.
it's clearly known.
They're innocent until proven guilty.
You were proven guilty. That's the
No,
worst
no,
part.
no, no.
Oh,
They're
six.
appealing it. They're appealing that.
Moji's free, dude.
They want their star. So,
We got
Sa, from your perspective, I feel like I don't even have to ask you a question. You just want to say something already.
Oh, yeah,
So say what you
I'm-
want to say.
I'm fuming.
This is where I take a step back. I started the fire. You guys are now gonna fight
Listen,
about this.
It's funny, Morocco League, but it's all BS. Listen, did Martinez get away with a little shove in the goal? Yeah. Oh well, they could have had a chance to tie up the game at the end. That's Sommer. He's going for the ball, gets the ball, hits him in the head after. How's that penalty? What's he supposed to do? Oh, you get the ball, score on my net. That's the dumbest thing. Is it a little aggressive? Yes. Okay, you call that. If it was Moratti ball, Sommer would have got away with that. There would be no pen. You got the pen.
Because they
You have
can't
a
make it. They
chance.
can't make it obvious.
They can,
gotta-
oh yeah, they can,
gotta-
just like
they
the,
gotta-
the,
they gotta show them,
NFL. They
Hey,
change the script.
see, oh no, see, we're not.
I
we're not the
think
Marotta League. What are you talking about?
I think this overall, throughout the years of Serie A, of course, the big three clubs are going to get more calls over. I think they do get more calls compared to the smaller clubs. I really do think that. Not Roma.
That's
not
what I'm saying.
Roma.
We don't get calls.
You don't get calls because
We're a
you
small
small
club.
club. You're in no man's land. I do think overall, yes. Do the big clubs tend to get more calls go their way than against them, especially against the smaller clubs? Yes, I think so. I think that's just how it is, I guess. But this Marotti League, where we're paying the league to win everything, we literally our last two games had a pen called against us at the 90th minute. And both times the team had a chance to tie up the game and they messed up. What are we supposed to do? Let them score to convince you that
Maybe
this is
they
not
missed on
Marotti?
purpose though, because it's a fix.
Oh,
that penalty, was it Gonzalez?
Nico Gonzalez?
Was that who he took the penalty?
He always scores.
Dude, he took
appar-
the worst penalty
Apparently,
I have
though,
ever seen in my life. They
apparently-
paid him and they paid Milik this weekend, dude.
apparently that
They
he
paid
does-
Milik to get that red
he-
card. I'm standing by that because
he-
that was the stupidest thing I've ever seen. You don't see kids making that mistake. If they're paid him, there's collusion.
Morata has one eye on the game and one eye on his bank account. Paying off everyone. But listen, that freak. Apparently, the guy who took the penalty. What's his name?
Nico Gonzalez?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Gonzalez. He picks.
Yeah, he goes to the same side, left side.
every single time.
Yeah, left side. He does a jump
Sommer
before.
read him like a book. He knew he was going left side. He read him. That was an easy save for Sommer. It's not our fault that teams are getting pens against us and they can't score. They hate us because they hate us. I'm sorry, I said it. You hate us because we're on top, and it is what it is. Deal with it.
So Al,
Okay,
now let's get to you.
Deal
So-
with it.
What do you think is going on, buddy?
I get where he's coming from, but it's all stupid.
Ah!
No. I get where he's coming from, but the problem is, and what pisses me off, and why I've said Marotta League in the past, and it just pissed me off because
I've never heard
it's-
you say it. I'm not
No,
gonna
he
lie to you.
has.
No,
Yeah?
I've
Yeah,
said
so
it
he
in
said
the
it.
group before.
He says.
I don't say it that often because again, not trying to be a ball breaker all the time. But
Just with me.
just with you and Roma and Totti
Day.
with Sano's goat.
My goal.
We'll
With-
get to that guy
With
soon.
this whole thing, it pisses me off because okay, example number one, you see the Martinez thing on the weekend. Yeah, he pushed the guy. Okay, you can argue it both ways. He pushed. You see him extending the guy, pushed the guy
He
like
did.
in football, and then he headed it clear. Okay, sure, you're not going to call that. But then how do you call Moise Keane blocking off the guy? Doesn't even elbow, doesn't extend. call that back a foul after he scores going up the field.
Yeah, there's no consistency.
You called that. Then the tackle on Juve this weekend, fucking Milik, paid off, barely a tackle, whatever. Then you see against us, Berardi, nothing. Oh my God, who's that? What's that guy's name? On Salernitana, he tackled Yildiz. Same thing, right in the ankle. Cleats up, yellow card, nothing happens. But then we get fucked over. And it's watching these calls that you see against that Inter's getting a lot of these that they're not calling. Okay, I get it. It could be a 50-50, but how come every time they're not getting it, but you're seeing other teams getting it? Is the inconsistency of the refs? Is it the refs that like they're just assigning and they keep assigning the same ones to certain teams? That's what pisses me off. And that's where my hatred for Inter will just fume from, because it just like you see that shit and it's like, okay, like fuck, like they're a good team. If they're getting help, they don't need help. They're a good enough team to fucking get by.
I agree with everyone saying that. Like, they're a good enough team, don't need the extra help. I agree with that. Like, I don't want my team to get all those no need calls for us. Like, I really don't. I rather
like sorry, because it just popped in my head again.
Go ahead.
That call against Bastoni.
That should have been a
as much as you think. That should have been a card. And they again, like that, it goes back to the King thing. King, it happened at midfield. He scored. They called it back because of that. That play there, Inter scores.
Yep,
not for anything. I know it sucks because you're like, hey, you know what, whatever, we won. I'd be the same thing. But when you're looking at it, that's a fucking foul. That's a big call missed. That could change the end of the league.
100%. I agree with you in that sense that the refs need to be like. I think the Bastoni thing was a 100% foul, 100% yellow card. I saw a red card. Like,
it's because you see it's because you saw the look at him and then boom.
Yeah,
that was the thing. It's not like he was like pushing him off or anything.
Clear intent. They're talking shit to each other.
Yeah,
and he's like, yeah, bang. That's an automatic card. That's a card. That's a foul. Bring back the goal. I 100% agree with that. And I think the refs are just been disastrous all year. Inconsistency.
That I will.
It's just like no. It's just like
we're all gonna agree on.
What's a foul? What's a foul?
We're all gonna.
No one knows what a foul because it changes from game to game to game to game. Yeah. It should be clear cut. This is a foul. You can't do this. You can't do that. They can't do this. Right? Unfortunately, that's the world of sports, not just soccer or football. Sorry, it's just the way sports is. It's hopefully evens out. To me, I would not want the help of the referees, but sometimes when you're up, but then watch down the stretch, Inter could start getting these stupid calls against us. It's going to happen.
But then, dude, you see, like I think it was last week or 2 weeks ago, like the referees, they released like that like list, and there was like whatever, like the 5 games, the first ones that came out.
Oh, the anonymous
of like no, it was like of like so like they went through like for like the VAR and they went through like the games of like the mistakes that like should have been called, and it was the one was foul against Yildiz, the other one foul that Berardi committed, I think it was on Bremer. And then it was the call against the Hellas Verona, Bastoni.
Yeah.
And then it was, what else happened that game? I think it was that game that something else happened. It was controversial. It was another Inter one. But I'm saying, okay, you're seeing all these things are all Inter and things are happening against Juve. Then the other fact of Inter only having 24 yellow cards in the season, which, okay, you could be like, hey, you know what? That means we play clean. Dude, look back in history. No teams have that low, especially top teams and like
that is
strong teams. That's very then you look at Milan have like 49, Juve have like 55, Roma even has like 40 something too. Like they're all high.
I think we have the most or second most.
Yeah, I was saying whether if it's Inter paying referees or whatever, or it's just referees that they have their own fucking thing going and they're deciding on what to do and there's their own script that they're following. I don't know what it is, but man, you can't tell me nothing's going on with these referees in Italy because they are all so stupid.
I'll tell you right now.
I've seen better referees in Woodbridge.
Inter's not paying no one because
they can barely pay the players.
Every year we have to sell a player. So there's no way the refs are getting paid on.
But maybe that's why you guys have to sell a player because you already dipped too much into the bank account.
We pay too much money to pay the refs. We gotta sell somebody.
Steven has to bring his daddy. His daddy's coming back to Inter. He's like, "What are you doing to my books? You're killing me." Listen,
you're spending too much money.
At the end of the day, the refs it has to be way more clear cut. Like, what is a foul? What is this? Like, what is like the VAR? Don't get me started on VAR and the offside rule. It's so stupid.
The offside rule is the biggest crock of shit.
We could go on forever.
Yeah,
I don't want to go. I honestly I get why fans are saying Morata League. Like you said, the yellow cards. There have been times where Hakan should be sent off for the amount of tackles where he should multiple yellow card offenses. There's a couple. He's a great player. He's good. He's gotten really better defensively. But there's a couple of games where I'm like, oh, how's he hadn't got a card yet? I even hear commentators on Fubu, the English commentator, not the idiot that talks.
Oh,
with them.
Manuel.
Yeah.
I love that guy. The
Not-
ball didn't go in because he didn't shoot.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Manuel.
Thank you. Thank you
But
for your analysis.
Where would I be without
when
you?
the English announcer is saying like, how hasn't he gotten a card yet?
Mhm.
Then I get why the other fans in the club, the league are getting upset with Inter.
Yeah.
I would be too if I watch a Juve game and how come Juve only has 24 yellows? I'd be furious. I'd be the first one snapping. But at the end of the day, it's not Marathi ball because Milan gets 2 penalties and can't even score in a game. You guys stink! You bottled it!
Somehow turned to Milan.
I
I
knew that
love
was
it.
gonna happen. I knew that was gonna happen.
2 penalties in a game against Bologna. You can't even score and you're complaining about us? Get in line!
Milan, they got their own problems over there. It just comes down to the referees just being stupid. Because even 2 weeks ago, another example, Gatti. And I remember you even saw this video
Yeah.
when he slid.
He pulled his
got the
legs back.
ball
You did
and
see
you
that,
see him
actually.
pulling cleats are down, pulling his leg back too. Ref runs right over, yellow card. Like, stop just throwing cards
Dude,
because you wanna
I'll
flex
be
your
honest,
dick or
over
whatever it
on
is.
Monday, I was so dumbfounded when I saw like, okay, and I'm the first to always say, like, listen, fucking, thank God it didn't happen, whatever. But Pellegrini should have got a red card, and he wasn't booked originally, which is why I look like Milik's tackle. I would look at you and say, I thought that was actually clean. How he got a red, beyond me, whatever. Pellegrini, his tackle, easily a red. This guy came fucking guns blazing, sprinting, studs up, and not just studs up at his feet to get the ball. The ball was away. He lifted his foot knee level. If he touched that Salernitana player, easily that guy shattered his ACL or something. And nothing. And I'm just like, thank God nothing happened. But I'm looking at that. It's like, why didn't he get a red though? You know, like where's the consistency
There is none.
with the refereeing? Because
none.
another game,
There's nothing.
another referee could have looked and said, that's a red
best
card. Clear cut. You know what I mean?
And then another thing that pisses me off, the yellows getting carried over.
Yeah,
What is
I
that?
agree.
Like,
I agree.
what is that? Why
Oh,
does that
you
make
get
sense?
three. You get 3 yellow cards, no matter what time, even if they're not back to back games. You're
That
suspended
makes
for
no
another match.
sense.
No, I
that
agree.
makes
I
no
agree.
sense. I mean, it's like if hockey, you got a 2-minute minor at the 50 seconds left of the game. You carry it over to the next game for like 20 seconds. What? That makes no sense.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense to me.
No, I agree. I think they should do it.
I-
If you get them
Hey.
back to back games, I understand.
I just gotta ask a question.
We had a whole episode on this about the rules.
I just got a question.
They got
Are
some-
the refs in, I guess, Serie A or like the league, are they union? Are they part of like a union?
Yeah. AIA.
It's not like the NFL where it's part time.
No.
No.
That's another issue.
They
Anyway,
have their own little union that they
okay.
have there.
So they need to talk to the union rep and be like, you need to figure it out with these refs.
Well, apparently
Maybe get
there is
some good.
there
refs.
was some stuff, but that's another episode. We'll talk about
Yeah,
that. There
yeah.
was some stuff about an anonymous leak coming from a referee. That's another episode. That's a whole
Holy
can
shit.
of worms. We have to.
Oh,
We
yeah.
got to do our research on it before we start spitballing stuff
Yeah.
here. I was expecting you guys at one point to maybe strangle each other, and I was really hoping for it because that's why we set the table up like this. But clearly, you guys are just both in on it. You guys, both of your teams are fixing games, so we'll just leave it at that. Now to get to the last.
They hate us because they hate us.
They
man.
hate- listen.
Listen, no.
At the end of the day, winners respect winners.
Yeah,
At
that's
the end
yeah.
of the- we respect Juve because
Hey.
they win.
No,
You know
no.
what's you know what's something that we both have at least one of on our jersey
Oh.
that Roma will never ever
This
have right there.
right there.
Maybe show Joe because I don't think he knows what it looks like.
Twinkle, twinkle, little
They
star.
almost put a yellow star
Silver.
a silver star on their
Silver.
jersey because they win 10 Coppa Italias. Juve's at 14. We're like, yeah, no, we don't want
Yeah.
a silver star. We don't want that bullshit. Roma's like, yeah, we'll take a yellow star, a silver star. Yeah, we'll take it. Yeah,
Listen.
right here, on top of the logo.
Listen. This isn't about me.
Oh, it's
This
turned,
isn't
now
about
it's-
Turn
me.
about you.
now
You're
it's
trying to-
turned
This
on.
isn't
make-
about us.
We're friends.
I gotta get to the next part of
Yeah,
the podcast.
Go.
2-parter over here. Sa,
The Totti thing.
is Totti an icon or a hero in FIFA?
Okay.
Tell me
Listen
right
to
now, make it
you
short and sweet,
Roma
like me.
fans. If Materazzi doesn't have an icon card where he scored more goals than Totti in the World Cup, in the World Cup final alone, then Totti doesn't deserve a base gold card. Doesn't even deserve it. Doesn't
On
deserve
that
it.
note, guys, this episode's
I fully endorse that message.
Well, again, thank God their opinions don't matter. I was just doing it for
So Joe, what do you?
anyways.
Double parter. What do you think he should be?
Icon.
Okay. And what rated icon do you think he should be?
Don't-
Easily, whatever Del Piero is, he should be the same rating.
His base is 90.
No.
Yeah.
No,
You think that they
89.
should be the
He's
same?
An 89. He's an 89. He's always been under.
Okay. No. I can agree with that. So I put him at 90. They're both at the same. But then you minus a stat for every Scudetto that Del Piero has on Totti.
So he's gonna be.
How many does Del Piero have on him?
I think he's got about 7 or 8 of them.
Okay. Take that off his base because Totti's never fast. So it makes sense.
No, off his total stats.
His
No,
total
no.
stats.
Okay,
Yeah.
no, that's where you're all wrong. Anyways, okay. Next part, guys. We are gonna build a team as we usually do.
Oh God.
But this team, we're gonna do the greatest Inter and Juve combined 11 of our generation. We're not gonna go crazy and start talking about Platini, Giuseppe Meazza scoring all these goals.
SERIE A.
Yeah, we don't talk about those guys because
Okay.
I've never seen them. You guys have
Okay,
probably
okay.
seen them. I don't know what's going on.
I might struggle with this. Let's see.
Nah, we'll figure it out. Don't worry. I'm here as a spectator, listening to you guys. I could jump in and help.
Joe's
out.
not building the team, so
I'm not
it might
building a
actually
team.
come up pretty good.
I'm phased out because my team sucks and will never be amongst the top teams. Anyways, though, the stipulation is Sano could only say Juve
This
players,
is where I struggle.
whereas Al could only say Inter players.
So many choices.
I'll be here to mediate to make sure. I don't even know. I'm just actually listening to him and laughing, probably giving out all my chime in.
Okay, wait, hold on. What formation are we riding with?
We'll do the usual 4-3-3.
Same thing. Okay.
Just make it easy for you guys.
Okay. Or
Or
just because
they're both
current thing, should we go 3-5-2?
I knew you were gonna say it. You're such a
Dude, both teams
3-5-2.
play it,
fucking nerd. Yeah,
and
you
they
know
played
what?
it for a while. So I
Whatever.
mean, I feel
we'll
like
go
it
at
just makes sense.
we'll go at 3-5-2 then. Best of all time for them. So a right back could be used as right mid, left
Yeah,
back
yeah.
used as
Oh,
left mid.
okay,
You know,
okay,
like stuff
okay,
like that. We
okay.
won't
Yeah,
go. Or you could use a right mid for right mid.
Okay.
It just go.
I'm so
Okay.
bad. With,
So I'll start off.
Of
I'll
course
start
he's
off
gonna
in
start
net.
off because he wants to say his one name.
if you need help with Inter, I got you.
No,
Oh yeah, you have to say an Inter goalie.
it's an Inter goalie.
Yeah.
Nerd. Can't say
Okay,
your
so
guy.
start things off in net. I'm gonna go with Toldo.
I love that pick. I
Good
really
pick.
do love that pick. That got me going.
Oh, I love
You guys
that.
probably thought it was just like Handanovic. Like,
I'm not gonna lie.
Or
You're gonna- I
or
thought you were gonna say
Julio
Cesar.
Cesar.
I thought he was gonna go with Cesar.
That's what I
thought
thought
he
right
was
away.
gonna
Hold
go
on,
with
baby.
Hold, so I was like, whoa.
Toldo, the Italian stallion, baby.
Thank God we're.
I gotta go in net for Juve.
No. Now you
Now
go
you're doing
center back.
Oh,
So
So
you
we're
guys
doing
go-
one position. So we're building the one team.
Oh, I thought we were doing two
No,
separate teams.
no,
Oh,
no,
you
one
guys
team,
Uzi.
One team. So now like that's our goalie.
Oh, that's a.
I mean, you're
great-
building this team together.
Okay,
So
center
that's our
back.
goalie.
Juventino. I gotta go with Cannavaro.
Collusion. All right. He's choosing Cannavaro
Why
because
is-
he had an Inter pass.
No, because I'm hoping he says the next center
Okay,
back.
If we're gonna go that route, and we're gonna
Here
do
we
people that
go.
have played for that for both, I'm gonna go with club, more obviously Inter legend, but massive Juve legend, Lucio.
Played one game for
Ooh.
Juve. This
That's
can't
our
be confirmed.
second,
Still,
third center back.
One
Hey.
more center back.
Well, Scudetto with
I
us.
can't say what I wanted to say.
That's it. That's why we did this. That's why we
I
did
wanted that guy over there. You said
I
Cannavaro.
literally said to Al, I'm like, thank God now Sano doesn't go on his Materazzi tangent.
With
He's done.
Cannavaro.
He is done.
Well, we got Cannavaro, we got Lucio. We gotta go with Chiellini. We gotta go with
Yeah.
Chiellini.
Okay.
I love it. I like
Okay.
it. I like it.
Looking good
All
so
right.
far. No Materazzi, thankfully.
Okay.
He's on the bench. Honorable mention.
He has to be on the bench. Thank you. Give me
Some-
that.
He's somewhere on the bench.
Somebody gets injured and he slides in there right away.
Okay, right mid. I am going to go
There's
with.
only one guy. I'll spit at you myself if you don't say his name. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'll fight you.
Who are you thinking of? I don't know who
Yeah.
you're thinking.
There's only
of.
one guy.
There's not only one guy.
Okay, sorry.
Brazilian?
No.
Portuguese.
Oh.
Argentinian.
No. Okay, as my right mid, I am gonna go
Center
with
mid.
He could do that too.
He could do everything.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Luis Figo
That's a great
as
pick.
my right mid.
That is actually a good pick.
I thought you were going to say, because you said right back could play right mid.
That's
right?
what I was gonna say.
Mike
Zanetti.
Conn. I was gonna say
Oh.
Mike Conn.
On the same page. I'm right away. I'm going Zanetti.
Zanetti can
I
play
didn't think
anywhere.
about that though. Yeah,
That's
yeah.
that's last, Joe.
So now we do center mid.
Center mid.
Or you could go like defensive mid, center mid, whatever. Doesn't have to be like perfect. He only
Yeah,
played
yeah.
center mid.
Zidane, center mid. Like, come on,
Okay, great
man.
fucking pick.
come on.
It's kind of
Yeah, man.
crazy. Like
Think
you
I gotta
always,
throw the jersey
like
on.
personally, I always forget how good like
Zidane was.
not Zidane. Like I'm saying, like Juve,
No,
Inter,
Joe,
Milan.
so
Like you know what I mean?
Funny you say that. 2 days ago on TikTok, I was just scrolling through nighttime, just whatever. I saw this clip and it was just this video and it was just clips of like Juve, like that era with Zidane, Del Piero, Conte.
Dude, that's crazy.
Man,
Crazy.
watching them play, I was like,
Crazy.
I honestly, that's one thing I wish if I can go back that I was 10 years older, but I got to live in that time and I was
Just-
able to like actually experience
Yeah.
it
Soak
and,
it
like,
all
see
in.
and, like,
Soak it all in.
oh, dude, oh my god, that was just oof.
Yeah. You got the stiffy like
Get
I
a-
did with Todo.
Getting a little-
He said
getting a
Todo.
little stiff thinking about it.
I've been.
To move on. Okay,
So yeah.
back to the game.
So
Midfielder.
you said Zidane.
Now it's going to the guy that Joe was thinking about as my CDM. I'm going to go Javier Zanetti.
Of course.
Inter legend.
The legend.
Best Inter
Literal
player.
Inter
So
legend.
left mid.
Or just other center
You,
mid.
I was
Oh,
gonna say
other
you
center
could go
mid,
other
center
center mid
mid.
or left mid. It's whatever you
Other
prefer.
center
there.
mid. Gotta go with. Maybe I have a fun one with this one.
It's a lot of them, man.
Pog. Boom.
Not
Pogba.
not a bad fucking show, man.
Pogba.
Not a bad fucking
Got a
show.
little French connection with there,
I
isn't
hate
that?
Pogba. I hate
Are you
Pogba.
dude,
I hate Pogba.
Pogba,
With
Pogba, Zanetti, and Zidane in your midfield, dude. Are you fucked?
a prime Pogba.
Yeah, no,
Dude.
I'm not. I'm not saying Pogba's bad. Not saying that. I just hate Pogba.
Roma wish they had the Walmart version of all three of them.
We had Nangolan, who was better than him.
Yeah,
okay.
At least better than
Pogba is a
Pogba.
fantastic player to watch.
Pogba was different gravy.
Yeah.
Pogba was.
Trezeguet's winter wild cards.
Anyways, my left mid. So this one I was thinking about, and this one I'm gonna go dip a little bit back into. He was a man of both sides. I'm gonna go on the left, Joao Cancelo.
That's actually good. Can't
Yeah.
complain.
Go, baby, Joao.
Can't say
Joao.
anything about it. It's all you.
And
guys.
Now
now
it's Sano up top.
Two
We both got a
strikers.
striker each.
you already said one club legend for my club, so I gotta go with the other one. Alessa. Alessa. Alessa.
That's hard to argue that. I will
Yeah.
never argue that ever. Don't give me that
And
look.
his striking partner
There's only one.
that Del Piero would he'd finish the season with I think 700 assists, maybe probably
Yeah.
R9 beside him.
Oh,
Disgusting.
shit.
Disgusting.
What do you think I was gonna say, Ibra?
I'm not gonna lie. Yes, because he
Joe,
played for
Joe,
Juventus.
Joe.
R9.
I'm talking about a
okay.
guy that Ibra looked up to, man.
Imagine.
The best striker to play the game.
Never exist.
I don't care what anybody says, man.
One
But
Ballon
that's
d'Or
your
with
attacking.
Inter.
That's your attacking. Man, are you crazy?
With-
Dude, just imagine. Like, I feel like you could honestly
That's a
have
good starting 11.
just
Honestly.
just Zidane in the midfield, feeding those two, and that's it. That's all. That's your attack. You don't
And then,
need anyone else.
having
to
Joao
attack.
trying to score Travellas from like 30 yards out.
And then you have Zanetti just back and forth, back and forth.
Dude, I-
nonstop.
that-
Hey, you don't got to run, man. We're up here. Yeah, no, don't
We're
run.
up 20 goals.
I
I'm
don't
just
think-
practicing.
I don't think your D would need to even be there. You
Yeah.
could have honestly probably said attackers still on
they
defense.
could be having a dude. Toldo's gonna be having an espresso with the boys in the back. With
That-
Buffon will be his
I'm
backup.
just thinking about that team. Wow. Just
I'm not gonna lie. I didn't think about that. I didn't think that the
There's-
team would come out as good as it.
There was probably a
did,
lot
to
of
be
players you
honest.
didn't expect, like us, that we said that you were. expecting
Figo's
us to say
definitely one of
someone
them.
else. Yeah.
Figo is definitely one of the guys I didn't expect.
I didn't think. I didn't think. You were gonna Figo.
The only honestly, I was gonna go with Zanetti at first. That was the first thing I thought of, but then I was like, I'm gonna save him because then I was like, Sa's gonna do the midfield, so I can do the CDM, or if he ends up doing that, I can do the center mid. I'm like,
I was
I'll put
also a
Zanetti
little
there.
surprised with the Lucio. Like, I don't blame you. I'm not saying he's bad,
He played
but
for
like
both
I
of
would
us.
have like for Inter, I would have thought somebody different. You know,
Who am I gonna? Who?
Vidic, fucking Ranocchia was great.
Vidic was
Ranocchia, they're
Vidic
still
was
trying to
end of
get
his
off the
time.
books.
Ranocchia, dude, it was between. I was gonna say Lucio or Bonucci
Or Cordoba.
or Cordoba. Yeah, but I'm no. I would never say Cordoba just
Or-
because like that, like because all that shit that happened back then with him.
Yeah.
Because dude, when he was on the team, like the first year, he was like he didn't have like an actual his passport was faked, and Inter knew about this. So like in the law, like in Italian law, every game that even if he went in a minute, they lose.
Automatically.
Automatically. So if you did that on the table, they would have been relegated.
Doesn't prove my
So you know what, like, dude? No. But dude, so you know what the league said?
Allegedly.
You know what the league said? No, like, the league acted like they came out and said, no, but we can't do that because what was the old president's name? Moretti.
Oh yeah,
Moretti.
yeah.
Like, you know,
family.
Moretti, like they put so much money into the league. You know, we can't have them going into
Moretti
Serie B. It wouldn't look good, you know, for the league. A couple years later, Juve, go try it out in Serie B. See how you like it. Like that him, I will never like.
I'm surprised you didn't say Nedved because we were
He
talking
had
about
the
him
left.
earlier.
He had the
I had the
right,
left.
actually.
Couldn't say Nedved.
And he
We
had
were,
the
talking,
right.
we were talking about it earlier, and I said if you say Nedved, then I'm leaving. But thankfully,
Yeah, no,
Nedved
Joe, I
is
was
not
there
much.
for that, and I told you how many Ballon d'Ors does Totti have, and you said,
Yeah,
I didn't say. I just.
How many World
looked-
Cup goals does he have versus Materazzi?
I thought you were gonna say Nedved.
Bender and Anelka having the same amount of Scudettos as Totti.
I think they have
So
more,
what?
actually.
They have one, Joe.
No, weren't they there for 2 years?
No, they have
like
one.
Anelka? Anyways.
Brought them in for one, and that's it.
That was a gross team.
Thank you guys.
That was a
Why
very
am I
gross
on-
team.
This is why.
Guys,
Might build it on FIFA now.
But
guys,
yeah, thank you.
that is it for
Thank you.
today's episode.
I'm flustered there.
Thank you guys for listening. Don't forget to follow us on TikTok, Twitter, and Instagram at UltrasXI. Don't forget to check out our YouTube channel and subscribe on there. Sano.
You can follow me at Sano. I'm not gonna spell it, but
Again, ladies, I don't know if there's any ladies listening to this podcast. Because,
If we do, then
I don't think there is, but
or dudes who want to be
maybe-
my friend,
maybe-
inter-friend.
maybe Putelos and Bonmati are
Yo,
listening.
chill.
Oh,
Those are my
sorry.
girls.
Sorry, that's
But
Joe.
this is mine. I'm in love with her. She wanna.
But Matty, you're my girl.
Sano put you at red in FIFA, so I mean, hey, he's got that
My
kind of
girl.
connection with you. So she might be listening. He's
I just
single.
love you.
Follow him up.
Yeah, follow me up.
Sano, thank you for coming today.
Thank you for having me.
It's always a
guys.
pleasure to
Appreciate
have
it.
you, even though you're an Inter fan. You know,
I'm not
you're
the
you're all
worst.
right. Before I end things off, Casano came here. He's trying to show off his Inter gear. I only got this sweater. He's got some vintage on. So before we end off, I just gotta put a little thing on for Sano.
Oh, here we go.
I'm wearing a home is Toronto sweater
His home is Toronto.
because we live here in Toronto.
Home is
also-
where you make it, right?
I also don't like wearing out all my stuff because I'm fat and it fits me really tight. So I'm trying to avoid that negativity.
No.
What's he doing?
Ooh, that's a
Oh.
good one. That's a nice.
Al's coming out looking like the Punisher's stepdad over here.
Yours, I'm gonna put mine on
There we
too.
go.
Hey Joe, where's your Roma jacket? Loser.
Well, you know what? At least
So-
you play with love, passion, and
I
desire.
have to match Sano with the vintage look now, so I
Beautiful
couldn't have him
look.
up be in my own house.
Ooh, that is a nice jacket.
You know
Sano,
what's crazy? I remember your dad wearing that when we were younger.
yeah, dude, man, it's vintage,
weird?
man, vintage, brother. I'm
I'm
all
sorry
about the
about that.
vintage.
Oh, the vintage.
Joe, you were here, so thank you. I guess
you, Joe.
you're
Thanks.
an all right guy. You
Thanks,
you
guys.
let a good thing today. Sano, always a pleasure,
Thank you.
guys. We'll see you next week. We'll hear you next week. Ciao, ciao.
Ciao.
See you later.